Hello everybody, we are just about to arrive at another farmer's pond. As you can see, this isn't our usual place. We are continuing our work of harvesting fish from other farmers and then selling it on, for reasons because we've run out of fish ourselves. We're waiting for us to grow up, and also it helps other farmers. It was always part of the plan. See Pauson in the blue overalls in the distance with his car, and then these are someone else's ponds. He's covered them as well, which looks pretty good. So this is one of the, how do I say this? He's a very good farmer, and he's invested in this process, as you can see, because most farmers won't look like this, but this particular gentleman has the means to do it. He's not on site today. He's actually written a book, an autobiography, which I just finished reading. Very interesting. His name's the Honourable Matthew Rukungiri. So him and his wife Sheba have done this project, and about to see how far we've got. Oh, just noticed in here we've got this is our branded cool box, which is very exciting. I've not seen that yet. Yeah, so I'm just gonna see how we're doing. We've got a bucket full of fish. You can see as well we've got a range of sizes. We've got some of the bigger ones, which will be good. We can sell those. Some of our customers will be happy, and then we've got some of the smaller ones. And actually, this is the new net that we've got. So we just bought this. You can see it's just arrived. So that's quite exciting. We've got a new net. The reasons we've got a new net aren't quite so exciting. So let me tell you about that. So these men saying, so a couple of these ports that you'll recognise, Ian and Ian's at the end there, and then Rukungiri here, and then the rest are porters and staff who work here. We've also covered the nets as well with different. They've gone for the longer term solution, which is netting that's not going to degrade as quickly, but the cost is much higher. It probably looks better, but it is drooping over the middle a bit. But we haven't gone for that solution for ours because we figured we didn't need to. But I've been to the site. I got so lost coming here. I've been to the site like two times over the years. This is the third, I think. Let me tell you about this net and when we had to get it. So the local government, sort of within the region, has some nets which they make available to farmers. I think there's 3 within our little region. We've been using it pretty much non-stop for about over a year. But of course, people would sometimes borrow it and then they'll take it and then they come back with it, whatever. But one of the officials in charge has basically just suddenly took on net. And it was really frustrating because we explained to him, look, the whole point of this net is supposed to help farmers, and we're now actually going to other farms to collect fish, so we're not even just using it ourselves. And of course, the purpose of RAD is to help other fish farmers. We're not here just for ourselves. And we're like, look, obviously happy to help. There's other nets available. Not everyone's harvesting all the time. But if they do need it, of course we'll help. We're not hogging the net. But this person just was like, nope, you're just taking it. And we're like, well, when can we have it back? And they're like, I don't know. And so it's probably going to be months before we get access to that. Even though I suspect it's probably just sat there not being used. And it's just really, it's really upsetting. I got really frustrated about it. And it's put us in a bit of a tricky position because this is not cheap, this net. And we were just starting to get a bit of surplus, but that's because we've got some projects you've seen that we haven't been able to do, just because of lack of money. And so we were just getting excited, like, yes, we'll have a couple of bit of surplus, we can start fixing some of these things. Instead, we've had to divert resource to buy this net because last week we didn't sell anything. One of our customers, one of the children's centres, was disappointed. And it's just, as a business, you can't run like that. It's just really irritating. And this person has done this before. Like, we've got a letter made up saying that the fish that we're selling, you know, if the fish that we are selling are small, and you're not allowed to sell those if you catch them from the wild because it's illegal. You're taking the small out of the population, they can't reproduce, etc. Your fish farming, there's no problem with that. But here, because that regulation on fisheries is done by the army, and often they can be quite heavy-handed. If they catch someone with small fish, they just start beating them. They don't even talk to them. And because, you know, we've got people like Cambodia sometimes go out and sell fish. If the army caught him with smaller fish, there's a chance they would just beat him indiscriminately. So we got a letter made up saying that these, you know, this is allowed. It's aquaculture. It's different. We're not taking undersized fish from the lake because there's problems of overfishing. But even the official in charge wanted to make us pay a tax on it, even though that's definitely not shouldn't be something we're paying. It was basically bribe money. So it's just been a bit frustrating, this particular person. But you have to still work with them because they are part of the local ecosystem, and we're not trying to undermine what they're doing. We're trying to support, but it's just part of the bureaucracy and corruption that you can run up against. Anyway, this is the net that we had to buy as a result. So Sylvia, who was selling fish for us, and Shivan, who's here, they've been collecting firewood, which we're going to take down. So got a bundle of it. And then we'll fry the fish that we got from our fish farmer, who's actually not far away from here, it's quite close. So then we're going to fry it, and then Sylvia will take it and sell it. Shivan's got some orders as well, and then there'll be some people taking the fresh fish because so a lot of, you know, say a lot about you know, the people that have a bit more income, teachers, maybe they work for the government, that type of, you know, so I guess middle class people, they will buy fresh fish, like bigger fresh fish, and then the majority of Ugandans aren't middle class, so they opt for the smaller, cheaper fried fish, and that way we can hit the mass market, which is what we're trying to do, but also cater for other people, and that helps us with our finances anyway. These are our fingerlings that we've got in the happer. Got this new happer as well, and we don't know the size or how many we've got. Asked Samuel, we said maybe 1,500. Asked Pauson, and he said 5,000. So there's not a huge amount, but this is the purpose for these is to increase our brood stock, because we've got 20 females, and well, I think it's 50 to 60 males. So we've got plenty of males, but the females need to increase. So these are non-sex reverse. That means we haven't treated them with MT, methyl testosterone, but we're just going to let them grow up, and then we'll get the females and we'll use these ones for our next generation. We're just filling it now. I think it's pretty much full. This pond now is empty, but we fertilised it. We put manure in, and that encourages the growth of sort of the green stuff that Sepa eat naturally in the wild. And when they're fingerlings, that's particularly important because they eat a lot, they eat a lot and they want to eat quite consistently, so you want that to be growing in the water. But this is now ready for fingerlings that we've got on order. We had one to stock with those ones, remember, but not been able to do that. So this is should be, I keep saying this, but it should be our last batch of fingerlings that we get from another supplier. We've talked about before, we're not sure of the quality of them, so I'm desperate to get our fingerlings being used. But yeah, it's ready to go. It's a bit greener, it's drizzling slightly, so it's hard to tell, but there'll be some great growth of algae in here in a week or two, and that's when the fingerlings should be arriving. And then from here we'll sort them out and we'll put the ones that we actually want, because I think a lot of them will die, but we're going to select and put them into happers as we need. So everything's going well. We've just got all our BSF in their tubs ready to be fed, and then the teams put the net out for it to dry, which was, well, it's not going to dry in this, it rained this afternoon. It's 27th of Feb today, so rainy season supposedly starts sometime in March, but as we've talked about before, it's been very irregular and it's a little bit. It feels to me like the rainy season's come, but who knows? Anyway, net's out to dry, brand new net, which is great. And then the rest of the team they've gutted the fish in evidence for the rain, and then they're just frying currently. So some of these will be sold today. Some of them will be sold tomorrow. We're just getting them ready for various people. Sylvia's she's got a new branded thing, which is fantastic. And then she'll be off. Dog's still here with us, which is great.